G'day guys, out here with a little bit of a new project, and I suppose it comes from the 22 ELR concept and stuff that we've been doing. Not the extreme long range of 1,000 yards that we did, but the ELR stuff for 22, which is like the 300 yards, 500 yards for 22. And I suppose I should say it comes from a few things. That's one of them. Another one is recently I've seen a new bullet designed for, which will be loaded ammo I presume to end up with, but a new bullet designed for the 22. Monolithic bullet to try and make a 22 shoot ELR well. And then I suppose the last bit into that combination comes into the 22 magnum, which is what this is, and something that I've always been looking at or been asked a fair few times and wondered how you could make that little rimfire shoot for ELR, for extended ranges for this sort of thing. So we're 300 yards, 500 yards, maybe 800 yards or further sort of thing. But what's it going to work like? I didn't have one. All the 22 magnum where I have is a little Henry lever action, which is an awesome little white rifle, shoots really well, but it's an offhand sort of shooting rifle, no scopes, skinny barrel, lever action, great little plinker and that sort of stuff, but not really suited to test it. So those three things are involved. Now the 22 ELR and that new bullet. Listen, hats off to people trying new things. To me, it's missing the mark a little bit. To me, the whole logic of 22 ELR is that it's a rifle you got in the cupboard, or you can just buy a cheap rifle and using factory ammo, and that whole setup is made to make it cheap, very challenging because the ammo is your limitation. So I get the concept of make a good bullet and then you can make it all work. The bit that's missing in that concept that most people probably wouldn't understand is you're not going to run a monolithic bullet in a 22 barrel. At 1 in 14 and 1 in 18 twists and things like that, they're not going to spin it. You're going to need, at the speeds of a 22, down in 5, 6, 7, 8, that neck of the woods, somewhere down with or up I should say, in a very high twist. Low in the numbers, high in the twist. But you need a fast twist to stabilize a monolithic bullet in a 22. That's another conversation. It's a way, we'll see, that might turn into a really great idea. But like I said, that turned back into, what about just taking a heavier bullet and giving it a little bit more energy in still a factory form? So that combined with the 22 magnum logic meant that getting my hands on one of these was a fairly good test, good process. It lets me test the rimfire RPR, Rigger Precision Rifle. That was nice and simple. Ammo, I've just got this stuff here, which is just a starting point, but it's the 50 grain ammo, and I'll have to do more research, but this is 50 grain federal ammo, so I was hoping that was going to be reasonably consistent. The rifle is all as it was. I'd say the only things that I've done differently, which obviously looks quite different, and it's obviously a step too far for any normal rimfire, but I bolted, in simple section up here, I bolted on my component D, which lets me run around the guard, by the way, lets me run my whole big bipod system up the front there. So really nice and stable. Other than that, and on top here we have Sam's old scope, what used to run on her 22, sorry, on her 223. So this is a really nice little 50mm Citron scope. So that's on there at the moment in a very straightforward form, and it's, well, what we did is do a little bit of testing with it. So we're just starting with the platform. Rifle otherwise is completely stopped. Trigger pressure's a little bit high, but not terrible. But it has done what you see missing out of here, which would be, I don't know, 40 rounds I suppose. What you see missing out of that is what this rifle shot. Did a little tiny sort of a run in, basically did some shoots to make it, or some shots to make it all happen, and then we've done a little bit of playing today, which we'll show you. Shooting pretty consistently, shooting pretty well. We certainly were on target easily in this closer one at the 600 yards. It was on quite a bit. Found, as you'd expect, even though it got pretty low wind, it's changing, and that does affect it a fair bit at the 620 yards. But listen, it seems to be pretty promising. So I can't say much more. I'll let the footage speak for itself at the moment. It is a little concept. Like I said, it's in a different fashion of the 22 rimfire ELR sort of bracket, but we'll see. Get to have a nice little play with a nice little rifle, fun to set it up, and shot really well. But anyway, that's what I've got to share today. We'll have more of this stuff as the season goes by. But yeah, thanks for checking in on us, guys. Catch you next time.